welcome to the Envision Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. Presents Dear Queens of Tomorrow, a show that shares the stories behind teenage girls who inspire, empower, and lead others. The Dear Queens of Tomorrow with the girls from Girl Power Up Youth Group begins now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dear Queens of Tomorrow. I am your host, Heaven, and we have, Deja. We have Deja with us. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. So the topic for today is school. So, Deja, how do you feel about school?
I feel like this is coming from a senior that really doesn't like school. I have senioritis, so I feel like school right now is a waste of my time, but that's just senioritis. That's just me talking because I don't want to go anymore. I feel like school, it can be fundamental in some parts. Heaven, how do you feel about school?
At this point, I'm a sophomore, y'all. So as you start to develop and you first get into freshman year, you're fresh out of middle school, you feel like, oh, I'm ready to go. High school about to be a blast. It's about to be fun. So I feel like once you develop in high school, then you start to realize, if you really want to go to college, if you really don't, you start to actually get to know yourself. So with me, I feel like I want to become a cosmetologist, y'all. And you only need like months of college, but it's been brought to my attention that some people want me to go to college. So in the last episode, I think it was like 2 episodes ago, I was like, I'm a people pleaser. But I also do want to go to college to get that experience. But it's still, I'm basically living for other people. So I went into a whole different aspect. But y'all, right now, I feel like the part about college, I'm going to go to college, but not for that long, not for 8 years or 9 years, because that's basically my whole life wasted. I'm not going to say wasted, but gone. So
with that, I'm just lighting it up because it's like you can go to college, just make sure you're going for what you want to do. That, like, seriously, make sure you're going for what you actually want to do, because if you do go and you're just going because you thought you wanted to do that one thing, you've wasted money, you've wasted time, you just wasted your life away. And I don't want anybody to do that, because a bunch of people come to like me, or I'm pretty sure a bunch of people come to a bunch of young people and they're like, I've wasted my life away and I should have gone in this field, but instead I decided to go in this field because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I don't want that to happen to me, my sister, anybody. Like, I don't want that to happen to any of our listeners. It's just not a thing that I want to go through personally, or I don't want anybody else to go through. But in regards to college and school, I'm just in high school, so I'm going to talk about high school. I want to talk about the food that they serve us. Now, we live in the West, but it's like the Eastern, not the West, but like we live in the Southeastern. That's where we live. I'm not trying to give our location, but the food that they give us non-nutritious food. Like, nobody wants to eat it, and I'm pretty sure it's not healthy. And they depict it as, oh my gosh, you're getting everything on the food plate that you usually see when you're in middle school, the plate that's right in the front of the cafeteria. We're not getting that. Like, you can make it seem like we're getting that, but there's no nutrition in the food that they're serving us. One time, it was during testing too, so we were really hungry, and a bunch of kids go in the line, and they have nothing but a pizza and an apple to give us. I took a picture and I called the school board because I wasn't having it. Although I don't eat school lunch, and it might be bad on my part, but I don't want anybody else eating that. Like, they have no food. And you expect us to go on with our day after testing like everything's okay. That's not okay. And I'm not encouraging everybody to go straight to the school board when something's wrong, but I know the principal wasn't going to fix that problem because the principal was right there and he did nothing. So I just went to the board about it, and they fixed the food for a week, for about a week. So it did something, but not that much.
Y'all, I stopped eating school food like in 6th grade because the food just kept getting worse. In middle school, no, I think it was elementary school, it was good at first, but then they started adding like food. It's just, you know how they have those burgers, but it's not real meat. Yeah. How are you going to serve me a burger, but it's not real meat? Kids want to actually enjoy food and not eat something healthy, because probably at home they might only eat, say their parents are vegan, and they might just force them to eat vegan food. They want to actually enjoy some food at school. So I feel like they should just change the whole menu of school. Let the kids decide what they want to eat on some. I'm not going to say some kids, but some. Because some food is like unhealthy. Candy. Some kids want candy all day. That ain't going to happen. So I feel like they should just take our food choices into consideration.
I don't even think they should take the food choices into consideration, because all we're going to have is pizza, and I personally don't care for pizza that much. But I feel like as soon as Michelle Obama hit the schools, everything went downhill. Now, I'm not shaming Michelle. I love her. She's a wonderful woman. But as soon as she touched the school system, our food decided to degrade. And it's very sad, because the school that I was going to, my brother went to also, and we're all going to the same school that our brother went to. But at the time he was there, they used to have actual food. They used to have chicken patties, not chicken patties, but chicken sandwiches, actual chicken sandwiches. They used to have pizza on some days. They used to have actual food that people wanted to eat. They used to have an actual dairy vending machine. So with the dairy vending machine, it had yogurt, it had some fruits in there. It was just nice. And personally, I was like, okay, I'm about to eat good. Then Michelle Obama came and swept it all away.
Yeah, the only food I'll say we get throughout the day is vending machines. They got honey buns, chips, candy, and as soon as school is over, everybody hits the vending machines because they didn't get food during school. So that's the only really good thing about it.
It's not even the vending machines. We had a McDonald's right across the street. So everybody either went to McDonald's or they had a snack from after school, or they didn't even wait till after school to go to the vending machine. They just walked out of their third period and went straight to the vending machine. That's what I used to do. Don't do that if you're not like allowed to do that. But I used to go out during third period and just go get something from the vending machine because it was more beneficial for me. And it gave me some type of nourishment throughout the day since I don't eat school lunch either. So don't do it. But if it's permittable, like not permittable, what is it called? If your teacher accepts it and allows you to do it, then you can go ahead and go to the vending machine and get you some food. If your food is like anything like our food, because I don't know what they do. And I'm not shaming the people that make the
food. I'm shaming you. I'm just like, it's
not the people. It's not the people that make the food. It's the people that give us this food in the first place. Because there's no need for us to have quote unquote nourishment. I'm doing air quotes, y'all. And there is no nourishment. It's just slush on a plate.
Yeah.
And they give it to us and say, here, eat it.
I feel like the lunch ladies there's males too, but they want us to eat better than the school, because you know how if you miss a juice box, or they'll tell you to go back and go get it to feed you. So I feel like the lunch ladies actually care about us more than the school board. Not to shade, but they know how it feels to want food, but you're not actually getting real food from school. And I'm cool with all the lunch ladies, y'all. Them are, yeah, we friends.
Personally, I don't know any of the lunch ladies because we're not in school anymore, but I still didn't know them because I never went through the lunch line or anything.
Oh, I'm not in middle school. Yeah.
But I almost forgot what I was about to say. It has to come back in within like 2 seconds. Okay, so heaven. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to think of what I was going to say 2 seconds ago. Debunk that. Okay, so with the school system, I feel like, yes, there are people that don't eat at home and they physically cannot eat at home, and that's their only source of nourishment, and that's all they can eat. That's why I want the food to actually be something that will give them nourishment, because what if that does happen? You don't want your child to eat something that's not good for them, let alone not even something that's actual food. That's just, I feel like that's sad on the school end, because there's no reason to have the kid go to school, suffer for that long, and then take them to lunch and they're not eating because they don't want the food that they're serving. But we'll be right back, and I'll be going on break in a few seconds. We'll be right back.
Bossed Up Leaders Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation with a mission to eliminate stereotypes amongst women and girls in the workplace, schools, and communities, while providing a sanctuary to produce intentional growth, success, and significance. Generate essential resources to elevate women and girls to an entrepreneurial mindset and executive leadership. Our amazing team of regulars and part-time volunteers are committed to helping others. We take our convictions and turn them into action. Think you would be a good fit? Get in touch for more information. If you wish to find out more or donate to help with our cause, go to bossdupleadhers.org.
Girl Power Up is a youth group of adolescent girls that supports the empowerment of girls everywhere. Since its launch in 2020, the group has incorporated programs that promote the health, safety, education, and leadership of girls around the U.S. and are building a community that will lead to international associations. Our youth leaders will grow to represent Girl Power Up youth groups in various countries, where they stand up, speak up, and rise up to support the hardest to reach girls living in places where it is hardest to be a girl. Find out more by visiting our website at girlpowerup.org.
And we're back, everybody. So now that the food part of school was finished, I wish I didn't have to eat that ever in my life, but I had to. Wait, I actually didn't have to. I didn't eat it, but they tried to make me. It's like jail food. But we're going on to textbooks. I am so happy that we don't have to look at the textbooks anymore, because in my mind and physically, actually, all they do is shorten down stories or either lie straight through their teeth or through the words. Why I say this is because there's actual living proof and proof that this stuff that they're teaching is debunked from whatever ethnicity that you're from. It's actually debunked to make somebody else feel good or feel comfortable with how history is. Now, this is just history. And there are also some other books in school that are debunked and shortened because they want everybody else to feel comfortable, although life isn't comfortable. life isn't supposed to be comfortable. That's why people are out here struggling, and some kids aren't feeling like they're normal because they don't feel like textbooks are they don't feel like things are how they should be because of textbooks, or because they weren't taught anything about how life really is.
I feel like, you guys know I'm big on history. So in textbooks, it's a lot of things that they don't tell you in everybody's culture, everybody's race. It's just a lot of things they don't tell you. And as a kid growing up, they shouldn't, they shouldn't cover up they shouldn't cover up how, y'all, okay, I don't know how to put this in words. So they shouldn't try to hide things from you that's from your race, or because you want to know about your culture. That's how I'm going to put it. You want to know about your culture, the people you came from. You want to know everything about your ancestors. So I would say they shouldn't try to hide and block you from certain things that you want to learn. They should actually give you those tools to learn where you came from, to learn how your ancestors fought for something and how they made a change. And they should incorporate that more into textbooks. That's how I feel about it.
So, with that being said, I don't think everybody wants to know about where they came from or their culture or ethnicity or whatever. But
it's good to know. It's because once you get out in this world, it's a whole different world. Okay. Y'all know the hateful groups, the racist groups. Say you see them and you don't know anything about them. You're just like, you just look at them and you're like, who are they? But you don't know. How do I put this? They help me out.
See, they do put the coop. They do.
I'm giving an example if they didn't.
Oh, okay.
Say if they didn't put them in there. And you're just looking at them like, who are they? And they're saying racial slurs to you. And you have no idea who they are. So you have to know your culture before you actually, I'm not going to say culture.
Yeah, history.
Yeah, history. You have to know your history before they actually put you out here in this world. Because the world it's a dangerous place, y'all. But that's how I feel about it.
So right now I'm in civics. And I love my civics teacher. I love her. I might not be the perfect student for her, but she's a wonderful teacher because she doesn't want to debunk everything that's going on. She actually pays attention to the news and everything and tells us what's going on in the world, how economics works, and how it should or could be better based on the years that she's been alive. That's why I appreciate my civics teachers, but I know some teachers just go with what the textbook says. They don't go any further to teaching their children or kids, not children, but...
You can say children because some teachers consider students as children.
Yeah, but some people might not, yeah. So they don't consider the kids and how much they actually need to know the information that some teachers are giving them. So with the history thing, I really some people really don't want to know their culture, but besides culture, you have to know what happened before anything.
Yeah, history. That's
what I'm saying. But you were like,
I know culture. I got history and that's what.
But with that being said, people really do have to know what happened before them, because if they don't, and it repeats itself, they don't know, like Kevin said, they don't know what's going on and why it's happening. Because some history is repeating itself. It's going backwards instead of forwards. And it's a continuous cycle, and nobody's noticing. Well, we're noticing a little bit more now due to technology and not textbooks, because they weren't giving us the right information. Technology is helping us more than a textbook probably ever did within the span of years. And those textbooks came from back in the day. Now, I'm not saying like 3 million years ago. I'm saying they came from the 1900s, which wasn't that long ago, but it was like 100 years ago. How are we going to learn any new information from 100 years worth of stuff that was debunked? And even with them being 100 years old, they're still debunked. So there's no real retaining inside of the school for history. Well, if you have the right history teacher, but there's no real information going into your head. It's just a bunch of stuff that was formed to make it seem like the world is a little messed up, but it's better when it's not. So I don't want to say that school systems are flawed, although
they are.
They're really flawed in some aspects, but sometimes it's okay, in not debunking the stuff, but sometimes school is okay because gym. Say, for instance, a child is really upset or they're having a bad day and all they can do is, and their favorite class is gym because they can let off steam. So we have a weightlifting class in our school. So with that, people go in there and they actually learn how to weightlift and take care of their health and nutrition. And that's sometimes the only way people can let off some steam and get back to their day and control themselves and just let go sometimes. So that's one way the school system is really good.
All right. I feel like gym, I've never been the kid to like gym. But in, I would say middle school, 8th grade, around 8th grade, I got a teacher and she was so nice to me. She was like really nice. So every time I would go in there, she would greet me. She'd say, hey, like make me feel welcome. I'm not going to say welcome, but made me feel like, oh, just made me feel comfortable. So I would just, because you have somebody to talk to, because I didn't really participate in anything in gym related. I would say that's gym related. So running, I didn't participate in that, y'all. No, it's not for me. But it could be a therapy for some kids because some kids just want to let off steam and talk to somebody. So they have a connection with the teacher. So if they walk into class and that's their favorite period because they get to talk to that teacher, then that's something that can really benefit that student from, say, committing suicide or anything really, just being depressed or having anxiety. They have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, the teacher that she's talking about, I know her. I didn't per se literally like her because one day, you know what, we'll go into story times later on. But this system, although it is flawed in some ways, like Kevin said, people do go to school to talk to those people, talk to teachers. Sometimes counselors actually do help people. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. And sometimes actual teachers can brighten up your day, and not even a teacher. Like just seeing your friends and being able to actually interact with people, since I feel like we've taken that for granted since literally we're stuck in our houses and we can't even go to school and we're seeing people through the screen. Go ahead.
Oh, back to the gym thing. I feel like gym, you shouldn't be graded based off of gym. If you can't do a certain thing, like say somebody has asthma. I saw this before, y'all. So we had to run around the track and the teacher was telling them to run even though they had asthma. She knew they had asthma. So they were running around the track and I'm not going to say she had an asthma attack, but she couldn't breathe. It's hard for her to breathe. So I feel like she said she had received a bad grade on it because I think it was it's a 55 meter. Or what's it called? It's like...
There's a 50 meter, 100 meter. There's a 100 meter dash, a 50 meter dash. Are you talking about those?
Yeah, like something like those. I feel like students shouldn't be graded on based off of their ability, because it's like some kids can't do the things other kids can do. And clothes, because you have to dress out. Some kids don't have clothes to dress out, and they grade they grade you if you dress out or not. So every time you don't dress out, that's zero. That's a zero that goes in your grade book, and that's every day. And I've seen this happen to a student before. So it's just gym is. It's some aspects that are okay and some aspects that aren't okay.
But that's just school in general. It's okay, but then it's not. It all depends on where you're looking at it from and how you perceive it, really. And that goes for any and everything. It just depends on how you perceive it. Like, somebody could say, oh, I really like history. And then somebody else could be like, that's really not my subject. I don't really like that. And then somebody else says, oh, I really like math. And they're like, I don't really like math, but you can go ahead and like that. That's just how the world is. Everything isn't going to be to your liking or how you want it to be. But we have to go on break again, and we'll be right back with a different topic this time.
Girl Power Up provides certified leadership training, skill building, personal development, and networking possibilities. We offer free courses for learning professional skills for career advancement, various field trip opportunities for building cultural understanding and diversity, workshops for empowerment and mindset, self-care and support activities. Our goal is to empower our young women with the necessary leadership skills to succeed in whatever career or business they choose. Join us by visiting our website at girlpowerup.org.
Glossy Melanin Beauty, LLC cosmetic and body care line, is operated by a teen entrepreneur that provides you with lip gloss and lip oils that will leave your lips looking, smelling, and feeling amazing. Their products give your lips the beauty and the shine they deserve with lasting hydration. For those non-lipstick wearers, Glossy Melanin Beauty offers several amazing colors if you want to add a little color and shine to your lips. Try out their body oils and body scrubs that will leave your body full of shimmer, feeling soft and moisturized. You can contact Glossy Melanin Beauty, LLC at mshake.ke/glossy melanin beauty.
Hello guys, we are back, and the next topic I want to touch on is testing, because next week we have testing and we're getting prepared for that this week. So the deal about testing is, I feel like we shouldn't have testing at all. It should go like last year. They just take our grades that we had and they should, I'm not going to say pass us, because some people did fail, some people did pass. It all depends on your grade. I just feel like testing should probably be postponed until we actually go back to school, because the coronavirus, you can catch it quicker if you go back to school to take the test. And that's what they're trying to have us do. And on top of that, we don't really learn. We didn't learn anything this year. I'm not going to say anything, but you barely learned anything, because some people actually like to be in an environment of school to learn, and that's how they learn. Well, that's not how they learn, but that's where they like to be when they learn, and they're probably not comfortable at home learning from a screen because your eyes get bored. I'm like, your eyes just start to hurt. You're just staring at a screen all day. So I feel like testing is really no reason to test.
So with that, because I'm not going to say we didn't learn anything, but we didn't retain any information. All the information was just spat out at us, and we had to use the internet. I'm not saying the internet doesn't teach you anything. It does. It's just school. It's just school. And some people really can't function at home. Like, I'm one of those people. I personally can't function that well at home. I'm not going to say I can't fully function, but, well, I can't fully function, but I can't keep focused every 2 seconds of the day on school. I'm just in my bed, unmotivated, not moving anywhere. I'm just looking at a screen and going through the internet. That's why I'm saying that school was a kind of a blessing in disguise, but it's not at the same time, because we still don't learn much because information is hidden all the time. But the tests, I feel like they shouldn't even be postponed. I feel like they should be bunked out of everybody's system, because there's no reason for an end of grade test. If a person is retaining enough information and they're always on point, or even if they're an average student, you know that they've retained that information throughout the year. There's no need to test them on everything they've learned from beginning to end, because the information that they learned quarter one probably isn't going to be the same information that they're going to keep during quarter two, due to the time that they've had to learn that one thing. Because once one quarter ends, they test you on every subject for that quarter, and then they move on. So you really didn't get much time to actually learn and comprehend everything that's been thrown at you throughout the year. That's why I don't think the system should keep the actual end of grade test at all, because there's no need for it. You get the information that you got at the beginning, and then you got it from the end. There's no point in keeping them and then telling them that they failed the test because they couldn't remember the information from 5 months ago. That makes no sense to me.
All right. I feel like, I agree. There shouldn't be any test. And also, some kids can pass an assignment, can pass the class, but when it comes down to that test, they can't pass it. And I'm not going to say I'm one of those people, but I'm partially one of those people, because most of the time I don't pass those tests, but they bump up your grade. So I do pass technically, but technically I didn't. So I would say it's just when you have those students that can't function or doesn't learn anything really. I'm not going to say anything, but you just keep throwing stuff at us, like they just said, throughout the school year, and you barely remember it when it comes down to take that test. So it's just some students can't take tests like other students can. They could fail the class and then ace that test, but some students can't. So with me, when it comes to CTE classes like foods, a business class, any of that, I could fail the actual class and then they give me the test and I've aced it. I've gotten an 80 or a 90. I've actually done that before. But if you take me to an actual classroom, like let's say, for instance, English, I don't know a lick of what I learned last year for English. I cannot remember anything. Well, I mean, last year English, my class was at the end of the year, so I really couldn't learn anything that much, but I still don't know what happened during that class, because there wasn't really anything for me to grasp and have a hold of, because they gave us a test and then next semester happened. There's nothing else to go off of that. But if it were to be, there was no test and all I did was get the information from first quarter, do what I had to do, and then got the information for next quarter, do what I had to do, and all of that, my grade would constantly be the same, because that's as much information as I've retained throughout those quarters. There's no need for end of grade tests or, oh, what did you learn? Well, technically, I've learned this during that time, and I've learned this during that time. There's no really one way to say how much I've learned during the whole thing, because I probably didn't learn anything. But, test anxiety. Test anxiety is real. I think that's what Heaven was getting at, because some people do get really anxious and nervous when they're taking tests because they don't think
that they've actually comprehended enough information for them to ace that test or pass. And I know some people that are complete honor roll students. They always get A's on their report card, and if they get 1C, they get upset. I know people like that, and then comes down to the test, and they have like a D or a 60, an average actual grade, because they didn't think that they knew the answer, or they kept second guessing themselves because they thought they got it wrong the first time and they're frantic. I feel like that's also one thing that the systems have to take into consideration, because people can't just, all right, I'm ready for this test, we can do this, and then go back home and have a 100% good mindset on anything if they think they've flunked the test and their whole grade depends on that test.
Right. I feel like I'm one of those people that has test anxiety. I feel like it's every test I take, really. So I would say, I want to say last year. Yeah, because it was freshman year. And I didn't know anything on the test. I didn't know, because some things they teach you, it's not on the test. So you really have to fend for yourself. So it's like, how do I do this? Like, my hands were shaking. I was like, I don't know any of these answers. And I almost cried, y'all. I really did. And it's like, you can't, I don't want to say you can't grade me on a test, basically, because like, or any grade system, because if you get an A, say if you get an A, no, I don't want to use that example. Say if you get an F, that student might go home thinking they stupid, or they failed that test. They might go home like, I really failed that test. Like, am I worth? Should I drop out of school, or should I? Not really, y'all, but they might feel like, oh, am I really stupid? But I feel like the school system really should try to at least give out surveys how students feel and take their feelings into consideration, or do something for the kids, because they don't do nothing for it. Let me rephrase that. School teaches us some things, but when you get out of school, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to need everything they taught you. Like math. Math, you may need like addition, division for money and stuff, but you are not going to need y equals ms plus b or m. You ain't going to need all that. So it's like, why are y'all giving us this when you could be teaching us like finance in middle school? Because I had to learn finance in high school when I could have learned it in middle school. You need to teach us how to build our credit instead of waiting until high school. And in high school, you graduate. I'm not saying you would have a better understanding if they teach it to you younger. So by the time you hit high school, kids ain't really want to listen. It's like they 4 years left. So it's just, yeah, the school system is really messed up.
So I was going to say something before she went all in to every aspect of school. I forgot what I was going to say, but we'll be back after one more break, and then we'll wrap it up, but we'll be on the same topic.
Cards Productions, LLC is a production company owned and operated by a professional teen entrepreneur. They are dedicated in creating and providing you with powerful and artistic photos, graphic designs, and personalized t-shirts. Cards Productions, LLC delivers strong marketing tools that will help your company get noticed. With qualified and exceptional services, they capture lasting family memories, provide senior photography, animal portraits, business headshots and events, birthday parties, children events, and much more. If you are looking for professionalism, quality products, and exceptional photos, contact Cards Productions, LLC on her Instagram page at KARDS Productions.
Dr. Lashley is an expert team culture strategist who educates leaders on techniques to harmonize family and work life, while developing dynamic and productive teams. After being raised underprivileged, becoming a single mother of two, Dr. Lashley married an Army soldier who deployed to Afghanistan, Iraq, and Korea 11 times during his 20 years of service. She was forced to raise 3 of 5 children essentially alone. As a working mother and college student for 10 years, she had to find a sense of balance while juggling her children's activities and not losing herself in the process. She now helps working mothers and women in leadership positions harmonize their life while creating dynamic and productive teams at home and work. Are you ready for Dr. Lashley to elevate your teams at work and home? If so, contact her today by sending an email to info@drtracielashley.com or by going to her website at drtracylashley.info.
And we're back, guys. So, back on the same topic, I was going to say the numbers. When she was talking about the numbers and how people can feel like they don't amount to nothing because they have F's in the class, that's real. Like, that is 1000% real, because I'm one of the students that always get C averages, although I can do better. I know I can do better. It's just I don't apply myself that much because I feel like the C's, okay, I can live with the C. It doesn't really matter. But for other people, a C could feel like they're dying, because in the real world, numbers do matter. People can tell you you're not your numbers, but in reality, you are your numbers. I'm not saying that people are actually their numbers, like they're stupid, but when you get out there and they start looking at transcripts and what you've done, how you've actually been going about school, how much you make, those are numbers. Those are things people actually consider. And I know my numbers aren't too great, but to somebody else, that might be the end of the world for them, because they feel like they can't never get a job. They can't own up to anything because they're not making enough money. Since they're not making enough money, how are they going to live? That's just something that I feel like should be debunked from society as a whole. You shouldn't be your numbers, and your numbers shouldn't define how much talent or how much you can actually offer somebody. Although that's probably never going to happen.
I mean, college is looking more for what you did in high school now. Like, any curricular activities you did, or if you participated in something, they're mainly looking for creativity now.
See, but that's not...
But the GPA actually matters.
Exactly.
But...
Because if you don't have the right GPA, you can't even get into that school.
It's the GPA thing. Y'all... Okay, I can't really speak on this because my GPA is looking good right now. So I wouldn't really be stressed about it. But, Deja, how do you feel about GPA? Because I can't really speak on it.
Oof, baby. Almost every episode, my GPA is not up there with the scholars. I'm going to just say that. My GPA is not the best in the world. It's not going to be the best in the world. I'm a senior now. It's not going any further. I mean, it'll inch up there just a little bit, but it's not going any further. So for the people that are like me, I know a lot of them do feel like they can't do anything or nothing really matters. But honestly, if you really want to go in the career field that you actually want to go into, community colleges will take you and you can go ahead and transfer it into a university. It's not the end of the world if you have a 2.0 GPA, because a community college will take you, give you education, a degree, and then you can go ahead onto a university and actually keep your education going all the way to whatever degree you need to have for your dream job. Now, with that being said, it's going to be a long road. It's not going to be like everybody else going straight to university, but I mean, it's going somewhere. You're not just staying still and stuck at a 9-to-5 job. I mean, 9-to-5 jobs are completely normal. I have two. So 9-to-5 jobs are completely normal. I'm working. I'm still trying to get whatever I need to get. And it's not the end of the world, but I know it feels like that sometimes. And I promise you, it'll get better. I know everybody says that, but it'll get better. You'll go on to do better things. You'll just go to college. You can go to college. Honestly, there is no reason why you can't go to college. Now, if you don't want to go to college, that's a different thing. But if you really want to get up there and go to college, it will be hard. It'll be a bumpy road, but you can do it. There's nothing stopping you. Honestly, nothing stopping you. And the money, actually.
Well, it goes down if you go to community college and then you transfer to university.
I know, but the money for community college, too.
You don't.
Money. There's money for community college.
I ain't never know that, y'all.
Yeah, you have to pay money for community college.
But you have financial aid.
Yes, but that's debt.
Grants. You have a lot of ways to scram up money or get money for college. But some people might not have the grades for it. Some people might not have the curriculum grades and curriculum are the same thing. But curriculum or some people just don't have meet the requirements. But I feel like everybody can get, some people, because it's hard to get a grant and a scholarship. Because that's I'm not going to say a full ride, but it pays for college. So you have to give something or have something to offer.
So scholarships, I feel like they're not that great. I know some scholarships are the best thing in the world, and scholarships are good, but I don't feel like they're the greatest thing in the world. So, because some scholarships, they just give you money for half the tuition and then you have to pay the rest, or you get financial aid and you're in debt now because you took in money from the government.
You in debt even if you go to college. Well, for some people.
Not for everybody. But I feel like the world is just debt. That's just debt on you. If you don't have the means or enough money, debt. That's just what I think college in general is. That's why I don't want to go. But for other people, I know they really want to go. 1, either for the experience. 2, for an actual education. 3, to get somewhere else. Stop staying at a standstill and actually develop their, develop their business. It's not business. What's that word? Okay, so for people to develop their skills, there it is. For people to develop their skills, and it's just overall better for them and for society because you can better your skills and actually go out there and do some good work and help us out because some doctors aren't the best. Some dentists aren't the best. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. So school does help people and the society or economy, but also it could break somebody down because they don't know what they want to do or why they even went in the first place for that one thing that they thought they were going to do for the rest of their lives and figured out it wasn't their passion. And now you're in debt.
But some people can also change their major if they find out what they want to do. And I feel like I'm one of those people to go to college and get out and not even want to do what I went to college for. Because I do that a lot. So I just feel like college is for some people, college isn't for other people. So if it's good for you, go. If you have the GPA for it, I would say go for it. But if you don't want to go to college, then don't go. But your GPA is going to waste, but not really. Because I'm not going to say that. But if you want to go to college, go to college. If you don't. Because like they said, it's not the end of the world. You can become a millionaire if you don't go to college. And some people go to college and they think they might be a millionaire because they took a business class, but that in that business class, they didn't teach you everything that you needed to know. So when you get out in the real world, and I'm not gonna say you start your own business. It'll start to develop, but it'll take a long time. So you should, if you want to start a business, start it now and don't wait, because you never know what could happen.
True. True. You could never know what's going to happen. But also, you should wait. I feel like they should wait. I feel like they shouldn't just rush into stuff, because you have to think of how much money it's going to take away from you, how much time you have to actually do what you need to do for the business. It's just a lot to put into it. So don't rush into it, but go for it.
Let me rephrase that, y'all. If y'all have the pockets for it, or your family is offering you money and help to start your business, start it. And then when you get in the big league, pay them back.
I wouldn't say pay them back. Let me stop. Yeah, you can pay them back if you want to. Let me stop. Actually, pay them back. Pay every penny back. Not every penny, but
you can buy them stuff. That's like paying them back. Or you just actually give them money, ask them if they need help financially, and throw out money.
Or the payback doesn't even have to be money. The payback has to be you actually creating your business and going out there and doing what you wanted to do, so they feel like they didn't actually waste their money.
True.
Payback. That's just paying it forward.
And y'all, I'm one of those people that want to make it out in this world, a billionaire, millionaire, whatever you want to call it, so people can brag on me. My family can brag on me, because that's what I like. That's what I like to hear. That's not what? That's on people.
No, I'm more of a back burner person. I don't really want attention.
I'm not saying I like attention.
No,
I'm just saying.
That's what it is.
I'm not saying.
No, that's what it is. Anyway, I live in the back burners. And yes, the thing, I don't feel like I'm for college. College is for me. It's just not. I'm not saying that. I know people are like, oh, but you haven't even gotten into college. Oh, you don't know what college is. You haven't done it. College is high school. Literally just high school with a little bit more freedom. You're treated like an adult in college, but then you're also treated like a student in college. There's really no need for me to actually go to get a feel of what college is. I know what it is, and it's not that much of a big deal for me. I'm not, I should go to college because it can help me. I don't feel like that. The internet can help me. If you teach me through the internet now, why can't the internet teach me even more information without me having to pay you for it? Now, I do think teachers should get more recognition for what they're doing, but at the same time, you don't have to teach me anymore. I can be on my own when I get out there. It's no need for me to, for the profession that I want to go into, I want to be a photographer. So there's no need for somebody else to teach me and I pay for it if I can get the information that you're giving me for free online. That's just how I feel about me and the college situation.
Right. I got to go to college for I have to go to college for, I think, a year. It's probably a year or a couple of months. And that's not a big deal to me because I've been in school for 12 years. So another year is really not going to mean anything to me because I still have my freedom. So I feel like college, just like I said, college is for some people. College isn't for other people. So just do what you want to do. If you don't want to go to college, don't. If you do, go to college. Get that degree. Get that bachelor's. Get that doctoral. Whatever you want to do, go for it.
With that being said, I'm going to leave you off with one piece of advice. Don't give in to peer pressure. Peer pressure isn't just for kids in high school. It goes for anybody and everything. Meaning if somebody's like, oh, you should go to college. You should go to college. College. Oh, I'll pay for you to go to college. Just go. No. That's all you have to say. With that being said, you don't have to say no like that.
One thing I do want to say is, y'all, this was kind of ironic to me because I want to say okay, y'all know, I'm going to just give y'all an insight on me. So one day I was crying. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do after high school. I was just bawling out crying. And then, I just started praying and I was asking God to just, tell me what to do. Is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Is it not? And after that, my aunt Sharon, I felt like this was really, I'm not going to say ironic, but after that, I was like, oh my gosh, my aunt Sharon, she had shout out Aunt Sharon. But she gave me a lot of opportunities that day to open doors for me. So I feel like that was just kind of ironic, not ironic, but that was really a blessing to me. So, yeah.
With that being said, I said what I said. She said what she said. So we're going to wrap it up. You have anything else to say before we go?
Nah, just do what you want to do. Don't let nobody stop you. And get that degree if you want to get that degree.
Excuse me, this is business.
Period.
Anyway, so with that being said, you guys have a good afternoon, night, and or day, depending on what time you're listening. And we'll be back with you next week every Saturday. Yeah, Saturday at noon. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to Dear Queens of Tomorrow, where the Girl Power Up Youth Group speaks with future queens, teen entrepreneurs, influencers, and motivators who share their journeys in person and entrepreneurial growth, empowerment, and mindset tips, girl talk, self-care, and keys of success that will empower you to be your best self. Follow Girl Power Up on social media at Girl Power Up at bossdupleadherz.org and visit www.girlpowerup.org. Remember to be intentional and be empowered and have a great day on purpose.